The thing that drives me crazy, she always told me that.
You know you do it. What?
Hello guys.
So this is actually a video that we've been wanting to do for a really long time. Like when we first got married, like really long time, when all these little things became apparent.
Since we've been married for 5 years, we do know all these small habits that we have. And I thought, why don't we talk about this, like annoying habits that we got from our parents?
Yes. We know each other's families quite well too, and we can definitely pinpoint where these behaviors came from. And they happen to drive the two of us nuts, these specific things. So this is kind of like throwing our parents under the bus a little bit. I hope that my mom and dad won't be too embarrassed. But too bad, Mom and Dad, this is who you shaped as a person, so you're gonna have to live with it.
All right, well, let's get into this.
This first habit that Kyuho has that kind of drives me nuts, I noticed this habit before we got married. Yeah, when we were living together before we got married.
Oh, okay.
So I noticed this pretty early on, and it was my first time ever witnessing something like this. And when it comes to eating snacks and stuff, say like chips, cookies, he would stand over the sink and eat these things so the crumbs could fall in the sink. And I was like, how can you enjoy the snack experience standing over a sink? And he was, like, well, you don't want to spill crumbs everywhere and the bugs will come. And I was like, what? Like the crumbs aren't that big and you can just, sweep them up. I like to sit on like a couch or my bed and like watch something on TV and enjoy some snacks in a leisurely way. And like my parents do it too. My dad's very meticulous about it and like sweeping up the crumbs. I understand about wanting to be clean, but this was like too much. And there's another thing that drives me crazy about Kyuho. Aside from saying, hey, stop, you're dropping crumbs everywhere. It would make me get anxiety. When I was eating snacks, I could not enjoy my snacks because he's like the crumb police. And I realized that your family has like this crumb phobia. Your mom is very, very a meticulous cleaner. Like, maybe mom. And I've actually seen her like after we've cleared the table after a meal, get on her hands and knees and like go like this and like get crumbs off the floor. And I was like, mind blown. I had never seen anything.
For my defense, I grew up from family, very excessive cleaning people, like my mom and my sister. I still remember when I was a kid, whenever I eat this Korean snack called chokohae, and when you bite that
so
stuff,
crumbly.
So crumbly, yes.
Yeah.
And my sister will say like, go get the plate, you're gonna make crumbs and ants will come. She always told me that. I will see my sister and she will actually eat in front of the sink. And she'll just put everything in her mouth. That's why I have this habit now that I'm like anxious if I leave these crumbs, what if really like ants and cockroaches, because I'm scared of cockroaches.
It's not like you're leaving like a huge plate of rotting food out. If you have like, a couple of crumbs, like I'm not saying leave it there, like sweep them up, but like that's just part of life. You eat and crumbs fall. But like what drives me crazy is that nowadays he doesn't really eat over the sink as much anymore. That habit has gone away. But I feel like a way worse habit has replaced that habit. And what you'll do is like when he eats a cookie or like anything crumbly, he'll go rather than have crumbs harmlessly fall on the floor, you would rather inhale and choke just so it doesn't fall on the floor. That's way worse. That's actually dangerous. And you do it. You know you do it. I'll be, in the bathroom or something and I'll hear you like, like from the... So that absolutely drives me crazy. I mean, it's good to be clean. Absolutely.
Definitely,
It's very important, especially in your mom's line of work.
Right.
It's just in our daily life, a little too inflexible and stiff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the thing that drives me crazy about this Sarah's habit is that I will buy a banana and I will leave it here. And she will maybe like wake up in the middle of the night and she'll have a bite. And then she just leaves that banana. Hey, what the hell are you doing? she will leave.
I break off the half.
Yeah, and then you leave it, and she just forgets about it. Or sometimes, you know what I figured out? You have a bite of banana, and then you will put it in the refrigerator, and you forgot about it. And I didn't know that. And one time I opened it, I thought it was a rotten green onion.
The reason why I put it in the fridge is because you scold me if I don't. And then if I put it in the fridge and I don't see it and I forget about it. Yeah. I don't know why, but bananas decompose at such a faster rate in Korea compared to Canada where I grew up. My mom and my dad and my family, we would, break off half a banana and leave it on the counter. That stuff is not gonna go rotten for like 2 weeks. And finally, when you went to Canada for the first time, you understood why I do it, right?
Yes. I was actually very shocked.
Yeah, and I remember my mom bought a bunch of bananas specifically to make banana bread. And you have to wait for bananas to get really, really, really brown and ripe to make banana bread. But they weren't ripening, and Kyuho was getting mad. Because he's like, what? What's wrong with them? Why aren't they getting ripe? And I said, I told you, like, this is why in my mind, it's still fine to break off a piece of banana, like, because fruit flies don't really come. It doesn't get rotten after like a week or two. We don't use a whole bunch of like pesticides and preservatives. No, it's from the same areas and the same brand of bananas.
That was actually very shocking. Yeah.
So that's why.
But yeah, it doesn't work in Korea, Sarah.
Yeah, I've learned that I can't really get away with it. So that's my mom. You can blame my mom for that.
Debbie.
All right, I'm gonna get into my second one about you. I think this is the one where I was the most offended. Yeah. It like really shocked me and I got really butthurt when it happened. And I think it was maybe our first year living in this place after we got married. But we're going somewhere together and I, had my jacket and my shoes on and everything. I had opened the door and I was kind of standing in the hallway holding the door open for you. And you were like putting on your shoes and getting your stuff ready. And then I'm just patiently waiting for you. And I remember you look up at me. You said, "What are you doing? Don't waste time. Go press the elevator button so it comes quicker." And I was like, what? I was speechless. I was speechless when it happened. You just looked at me like it was a common knowledge thing.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
And then you kind of explained why you had that thought process.
I even feel bad, but again, when I was growing up, usually Koreans live in apartments. Sometimes these elevators take forever to come. There are like 20 floors, 30 floors. So I'm kind of used to this. My family, whenever we are ready to go somewhere, my mom will go out and then she'll already like hold the door or something, and she always kind of told me, wear your shoes outside so I can lock the door. Like, so my mom can close the door and lock it, and then like so I can press the elevator so I don't miss the time. Basically, I don't waste the time. Yeah, it just kind of became a habit, I guess, and I just, without realizing, I guess I just came out like unconsciously.
Did it ever come out? I was like, sorry for waiting for you patiently.
Yeah, sorry.
But related to that, even now, when we're going somewhere, and I'm like, you got everything? Yep. You ready? Yep. And we lock the door and I start walking, and then I go to look at you to say something, and I'm like, where'd you go? And I turn around and you still don't have your stupid shoes on. Outside of our house, you're like pulling them over your heels and stuff. Just put them on in the house. We have like a shoe area. That's what it's for.
Oh my God, these small habits. Now I can't even get rid of it.
I think we're both working on them.
So this is also one thing that kind of bothers me. Sarah can't sleep when even there's the slightest light coming out from any electronic devices.
No.
I will always say, Sarah, you're wearing the eye mask. Like, what's the big deal? But Sarah still says, no, all these lights will wake me up.
They do.
No, like you're
wake me
covering all your eyes. How
many eyes do I have? All my eyes.
Your 2 eyes. Your eyes is pretty big, so. Sarah has to use tape to block all these lights. And
yeah, like black electric tape. Oh, hey, Bimo. Yeah, I think my mom is like that too. Like, her curtains are not really enough for her in her bedroom. So sometimes in the summertime, when the sun is quite strong, she will hang a towel over the curtains to like really like make blackout curtains. And our curtains are blackout curtains because I can't sleep if the sunlight shines in. And it's scientifically proven that if you have like any kind of light coming in, whether it's from like the sun or devices or anything like that, you get lower quality sleep.
But I'm talking about these like Wi-Fi.
Yes.
These are small
It doesn't matter.
LED lights.
It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna actually show you guys these video clips of the ridiculous tape. These are all lights, and at the cover here, 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 even here. This is ridiculous. Yeah, even this one here, tape.
But it's better for your sleep patterns and your body to have total darkness.
And one more thing about Sarah is you always have to read a book before going to bed.
I got that from my mommy.
And sometimes I'm like really tired, I wanna go to bed. There's light.
You get mad. You lay down and put your mask on, you go, good night. That's like Kyuho's passive-aggressive way of telling me, get in bed and turn off the damn lights. Good night. You'll say it like 3 times and it really makes me mad. So I go, good night. I'm like, go to sleep then. You know what I mean, don't you? You always do it. Reading a book before going to sleep. That's what I do to unwind at the end of the day. Unlike Kyuho, I can't just turn my brain off and go to sleep in like 1 minute. That's not an exaggeration. He falls asleep in like 1 minute. So I like to unwind and read a book and just kind of calm down. It really, really helps me fall asleep. But he just can't understand that I need that.
Because of your lights, it takes 1 minute. Usually it takes 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry to inconvenience you an extra 30 seconds. That's my mom. Like, she's a big reader and always before bed. I just grew up the same way. Can't go to sleep unless I read a book.
I think it's a good habit.
I think so.
And now I start just like reading before going to bed as well.
Yeah.
So these are the stories, habits that we got from our parents. Yeah, we're also curious about you guys. What kind of habits did you get from your parents?
Yeah.
Bimo's been bothering us so much. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.
He was jealous that we weren't giving him any attention that whole time.